Do you want to? Are you going to add the music later?
Yeah, no, you're right. I'll cue the music. Ready?
Okay.
Dun 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 dun.
Welcome to Happy Hour, everyone. I'm Rebecca Diamond, and he is.
Wait a minute, Go. No more Happy Hour. This is Cody Underground.
Oh, okay. I need to be corrected here yet once again.
Just like old times, I guess, for real.
Just like old times.
Rebecca Diamond.
Teaching me a thing or two.
Something, or learning, trying to. Listen, Rebecca Diamond is in the house for Cody Underground today, my former co-anchor from Happy Hour, Fox Business, and dear friend. And we have a special guest also, Michael Haynes from Apmex, the CEO of Apmex, one of the world's largest physical metals exchange platforms, and we're just going to jump right in. I think Rebecca's actually got a lot of questions specifically about gold for her life. So, go.
I do. Welcome,
Happy Hour
Michael.
2.0, Cody Underground. Go ahead.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here with the dynamic duo.
Yes, I guess I should have finished there by saying, welcome, Michael.
Now, maybe we should give a little bit of background at how all of this came about. I'm here raising my twins and, getting involved in other stuff and basically I'm the CEO of the Diamond household here in northern New Jersey. So I've got to run things while the husband is running his company. So I'm the manager of the house, and that includes the finances. All the crappy stuff like paying the bills, but also trying to save for college educations, retirements. And, my portfolio's pretty good, bonds, stocks, and so forth, but everybody's talking about gold and then silver and possibly other special metals. So who do I turn to try to get some advice? Because I'm thinking, okay, I need to get into this game. I asked Cody, and Cody referred me to Michael. So, Michael, I went on your website, and it's very easy to understand. Tell us a little bit about your company.
Well, Apmex is probably the largest seller of physical precious metals in the U.S. and maybe in the world. It's really hard to come up with those kinds of comparatives in the physical metals business. However, we do have quite a number of customers. We ship almost 500,000 packages a year, so we're extremely active in the marketplace. We're also an authorized purchaser from the United States Mint, so we're able to acquire those Silver Eagles directly from the Mint, as well as authorized purchasers from a variety of mints and refiners around the world. And we're sort of the one that buys from the source and sells direct to the customer utilizing a very efficient platform of the Internet. And it's our pleasure to serve the clients and the customers to help them achieve their goals and objectives. We also, just by footnote, we recently were selected by eBay to start a sort of a unique process on eBay called the Apmex Bullion Center on eBay. And for all those people who like to work with eBay or those who are already on eBay, there is a special page only co-branded between Apmex and eBay. They have selected us to be the vendor that they wanted to co-brand with. They don't do that lightly.
Michael, is that recent? Because I'll mention, by the way, I have been one of your customers that has received some of those shipments of silver and gold, both off of eBay and off of your site.
We started that relationship in late 12, like October of 12. So 13 was our first full year. We had an extremely successful year. We ended up being, it's difficult because eBay doesn't disclose this data clearly, but we believe that we were one of the top 20 sellers in all of eBay in our first go-round.
Not
with
just
this.
for precious metals, but in general.
No, of all product.
Wow.
Then we also know that there were a number of times during that 12-month period that we were the number one seller in all of eBay for a particular day or period of time. So it's a process, and of course you got a $60 billion market cap company, depending upon whether Carl Icahn is in or out. You got a $60 billion market cap company that said Apmex is the company that we want to do this with, and then I'm proud to say that and this is all by way of footnote, that eBay selected us to continue that process, and we just launched eBay Germany on the 24th, a couple of days ago. And it's been fabulously successful for eBay Germany. And
Michael, this goes to show it goes to show you just how popular right now gold is, and how much in demand gold is via the traffic that you're seeing from your site. And I'm looking at your website now, and it's very easy to understand. It's laid out nicely. But if for someone like me who's a novice to investing in gold, where would you recommend, and I'm doing this for, possibly could be used for my kid's college education in 15 years, or it could be for my retirement, or it could be something short-term. Where does a novice like me start? What do I buy? I know obviously your website, but what would you suggest I buy?
Well, the first thing is we want you to be educated and knowledgeable. So we're a believer that the educated and knowledgeable investor will make good decisions not only for their portfolio in terms of the asset classes that they have, but they'll choose the right supplier. If you go to our website on the far right-hand side, there's a place down there for first-time buyers, and there's some information that's behind that, many, many pages. And we also have an educational center on eBay. So either way, that direct link, by the way, on eBay is ebay.com/Apmex, APMEX. So you can go right there, and there's educational center.
I'll put that, by the way, up on the podcast. And I'll note, by the way, too, that I've got an e-book that Michael has actually read, and that's how we first met. He had read my book called Everything You Need to Know About Investing in Gold and Silver, and there's still a lot more you need to know besides that book. But by the way, anybody listening who wants that, just join Scutify.com and ask me for it, and I'll send you a free copy.
Fabulous. That is a great book.
I'm looking at this first-time buyers area on your website, and it is very thorough. So give us the synopsis for the listeners right now. Where would you suggest somebody start? I mean, if I wanted to buy gold, Michael, for example.
Like someone like Rebecca herself, if you would, Michael. What should someone that's, got some affluency but still young and
do I
working?
Buy bars? Do I buy coins? I don't know where to start.
Yeah, let's start top down. I'm also in addition to being a CPA non-practicing, but also a certified financial planner non-practicing, I've been in those industries, and so let's talk top down real quick, because everybody who's listening here has different types of parameters. So let's talk asset allocation first. You've got to decide what part of your portfolio, how much of your portfolio do you want to, first of all, do you want to allocate anything? That's the first question you have to determine, and that's why we're into education. And part of that is based on your worldview and what you see for the future. Investments, and both of you know this for sure, investments are made based on what you think is going to happen in the future, not what's already happened, because those investments have already paid off. We're investing for the future, so you have to have a view of what you think is going to happen in the future, and then based on that view, you should start allocating your assets. And one of those views that many people are holding today is I have a lot of uncertainty in terms of what I think is going to happen, and I'm concerned about, for example, world economics. I'm concerned about a tremendous amount of currency that's flooding markets, not just the U.S. dollar, but many other currencies. I'm concerned about the U.S. debt. If interest rates move up 100 basis points, we currently have such a huge amount of debt. It's going to kill our budget. We are in a very precarious position. Not just our balances and our debt to GDP ratios, which are unprecedented back to World War II, but also what is the impact of that going to be as interest rates rise? We're a huge debtor nation, and it's going to have an impact. All of these things affect the dollar. They affect your purchasing power. They affect your future. And to the extent that you have a view that's your type of view, then you have to start finding assets that are going to align, that if we have that kind of outcome, what kind of assets are going to perform there, so I have balance in my portfolio. Yeah, I might want to have some trading things going on short term, maybe a day, maybe a week, maybe a month, but there's also some long-term issues that have to be dealt with. Gold and silver have historically, and when I say historically, I'm talking about since the Roman Empire, have been utilized to balance portfolios to varying degrees. So that's the first thing you have to do is decide, is this something that fits with my worldview? Then you have to decide, what percentage do I want to allocate? And we've had some really great discussions on Scutify about this, and talking about, perhaps the minimum number is 5%, because if you get less than that, even if it doubles or triples, it's not going to affect your whole portfolio. Balance is really the key when you start thinking about allocation of assets long term. So the first thing, Rebecca, is you got to decide you want to be in the class, and second thing you got to decide is how much do I want to allocate. So once you get over those hurdles,
Rebecca Diamond.
Yes,
has joined the conference.
Rebecca went away, came back.
Rebecca, are you still there?
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Once you decide, you got twins. It's going to take a lot of time and attention.
She does. And she's balancing the twins at home right now with us. But, Michael, actually, on that note, I think what Rebecca probably would have asked, I worked with her for 528 shows, and so I know pretty good, even though we might have lost it for a second. So let's assume that you've got $1 million portfolio in your stocks, bonds, and or real estate or whatever, and you've decided you want to buy $100,000 of gold and or silver over the course of the next few months to build that asset up as you're describing there. How does someone logistically, like Rebecca's asking here, how does she go to that? How does she go through that process? Does she buy bullion? Does she buy coins? Does she store them in her safe? Does she dig a hole in her backyard? What do you
Fair question. I talk to a lot of high net worth individuals, and they are looking to allocate just like you have suggested here. And the first question they say is, well, should I buy the ETF? And I think, again, this is a question of worldview. If you have some views that I not only believe that there's uncertainty, but there's some serious potential financial uncertainty out there where financial markets may not work for a period of time, then holding a financial asset with bullion backing it up isn't going to be helpful because you won't be able to get access to it. So what we typically talk to a lot of HNWIs is taking their total metals portfolio, and let's just say it's 10%, and determining how much of this is sort of permanent. I'm never going to change this part of my portfolio. I don't really want to trade in and out of it. It's never going to get below this, whether that's 6% or 4% or 9% or whatever. That you should set aside in physical, and we'll talk about which physical. And then the part that you want to adjust on current economic conditions, what's happening with the dollar or China or whatever it might be, you can use the ETFs to top it off, because it's much easier to move in and out of ETFs because of their liquidity and spreads and other things. But the baseline position, you want to hold it in physical because it certainly has the same characteristics as the ETF, but you get additional benefits in that it's really there, you can really get access.
And
so let's talk now about the physical itself. Which physical? Physical, of course, comes in both bar and coin form, and a little bit there depends on your worldview as well. Bars, typically you're going to get a little more metal per dollar you put in because the premiums are going to be lower because the manufacturing costs are much lower. However, when you go to sell those bars, you've got to have a counterparty who's going to believe that bar is real. If they don't believe that bar is real, either they're going to give you such a wide spread you wouldn't even want to play, or they're going to charge you for assay fees, or they're going to seek to only buy those things that have some kind of proof, like a sealed tamper-evident packaging or something like that around the bar, because they only want to buy the genuine product. So just like any investment, you guys are professionals, you buy an investment to hold, but ultimately you really buy it to sell. And so you've got to be careful when you
leave to your children.
Buy an investment to know.
You also
and a lot of this, as you know, as you just rightfully point out, when you have these physical assets and you're thinking long term. In fact, most high net worth people think multi-generational. They don't ever think about turning it into cash. They think about giving it to their children or grandchildren or even generations beyond that.
Amen.
Yeah, exactly. I know a lot of people are thinking of gold in those terms. So give me a little bit of background in education. You explained the bullions very nicely because I see on your website you have pre-1933 gold coins and then other gold coins, and then you have coins from other countries as well.
Well, let's talk about the coin side of the business. We talked about the bullion side. Of the bar side, you've got to watch your counterparty and expect what's going to happen there, and you got to have a belief system that's going to say, I either going to have a counterparty there, or I'm going to be able to overcome some of those potential liquidity issues. But on coins, you've got sovereign nations, United States government, the Royal Canadian Mint, the Austrians, the Australians. You've got multiple countries who are standing behind these coins and saying this contains 1 troy ounce of gold, and it's very difficult in the world of counterfeiting. It's very difficult to counterfeit a gold coin. Very easy to counterfeit a 1 ounce gold bar. All you really need, or larger. You can pour it into a cake pan and say, this is gold. Boom. Okay. Is it? Isn't it? I don't know. But the Royal Canadian Mint, the U.S. Mint, and all these other sovereign countries, they chase down counterfeiters because all these coins have legal tender value. And in essence, if you counterfeit a U.S. 1 ounce gold coin, you're counterfeiting U.S. money, and the Secret Service frowns on that with a big bad frown. And they will hunt you down anywhere on the globe. So that's why a lot of people, when they think about the liquidity event and they have any concerns whatsoever about their counterparty, tend to move more towards the sovereign coins. Even though they carry a little bit of a premium because of the manufacturing costs, they know that their liquidity event is going to be better. And one thing people don't consider when they look at premium is that, let's take the American Eagle, for example, sells for a premium, but when you sell it, you're also selling it with a premium. So you continue to recover some of that premium even in the bid side.
Boy, that's
it's not
point.
like you sell that just for melt.
Right.
You don't sell it for melt. You sell it for something in excess
and
of
theoretically,
melt, depending upon market conditions.
And Michael, theoretically, if there were some sort of a financial system shutdown, the premium on those gold coins would theoretically even rise because then you have no, like you said, very little counterparty risk.
I think that's true, Cody, because now you have a valuable asset that's tradable, and that will carry a lot of interest among everyone because it's an asset that can be used to trade for food, water, fuel, all those things.
Can I ask you a question, Rebecca?
Sure.
Michael hit on some of those gold bug themes, I guess it's how I'd phrase it. Almost, perma bear. Is it possible that the entire system collapses, and is that why you would want gold, et cetera? Is any of that on your radar? Do you have concerns on the financial system itself?
Sure. I don't. Let's see how we can put this mildly. I don't have Cody's extreme views. But, there is, as we experienced ourselves when we were on the air, Cody, in 2008 with the financial meltdown, and I saw my own IRA portfolio take a nosedive, that was real, and I experienced it. So I know things like that can happen. Could it be a total shutdown? I personally don't think so, but I do want diversification, and I do want to be I do want that sense of security. So if, God forbid, we have another stock market crash, which is, highly likely we could have that, and it takes years in for the portfolio to recover, I'd love to. So for me, it's more a diversification.
Okay, and guys, we're just about our. I'm sorry, Michael.
I was just going to say it's a good point, and the theme here isn't about extreme measures, although the asset will perform under those.
Don't tell
Depends on
Cody
who
that.
you ask. Yeah.
The theme here is non-correlation of your portfolio, and all you have to do is look at the correlation between the S&P 500 and gold, or S&P 500 and silver, or S&P 500 and oil, or, all you have to do is look at those correlations. And if you can go back for any period of time, but if you go back for the year 2000, you go back to the year 2007 through the crisis, whatever you want to do, you will see that gold is non-correlated to the S&P 500. So if you want to own stocks and be 100% correlated, no matter what happens, things go up, things go down, your portfolio is either wildly successful or in the tank, that's fine. That's a decision you make. But balance in an uncertain time becomes more a premium. Therefore, you diversify between asset classes that are non-correlated. And if gold goes down, you might want to celebrate because your stock portfolio went up. But what happens if the other way?
I celebrate because then I can buy some more gold. Listen, hey,
there you go.
Rebecca, I have Terry and Chris in my ear tell me we got to wrap up. Guys,
this has
awesome.
been great because, I feel confident now. I feel more confident now investing in gold. That's where I will start. Michael, you gave me some good places to start, especially the website, the first-time buyers area. It's very good. And, I did my own research, and you got some really good reviews on your website because, you see daily on TV all these other companies buy gold. They have celebrities as spokesperson, this and this and that. And, there were other investor websites saying that, you don't rip people off. Basically, it's a solid company. So you got my endorsement is basically what I'm saying. Thank you so much. I'm going to look into the coins. That's what I'm going to first buy, some gold coins.
And on that note, Michael, I have done purchases from your company before, and I've actually even linked to it and referred to it in my books and on my site because I'm confident when I buy from you guys that I'm not getting ripped off, that there's a fair market value that I'm being, and sometimes even under market value. You guys will occasionally make those offers out there that I sneak in and buy 11 coins for the price of 10 or something. Michael Haynes, from the CEO of Apmex, Rebecca Diamond. Hey, what's the new venture you've got?
Who is now the president and partner of Bride and Blossom. I'm doing wedding flowers now. Believe it.
That is
cool. Fabulous.
And
president and partner with one of my girlfriends, a good friend of mine. She's been running this company for about 5 years now out of New York City, and so I'm partnering with her, and we're going to turn it into a boutique floral design company. So Bride and Blossom, and something new for me.
Cool. Congratulations. And by the way, everybody, you can find her on Facebook, and that page is referred to her on Facebook. Rebecca Diamond, as I call her, Go-Go. Michael Haynes, CEO of Apmex, and this is Cody Underground. I'm Cody Willard. Michael, what's your favorite song? I need a song of the day.
Goldfinger.
Rebecca, thanks for joining me. This was awesome. And Michael, thank you for being our guest. Rebecca, we got to do this.
It's a pleasure to be with you both.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. That's Cody Underground.